170 years, the railroads have been an important form of transportation in the southwest United States. And the locomotives are the main motive power to keep the trains running on time. Here are stories from the Mojave line. Snow arrived later than usual that year. When it eventually did arrive, it was only in certain areas such as southern Nevada, Utah, and eastern California. It was good for the trains though. Since it was little snow plows weren't necessary and the trains could run on time as usual. Christ, these no offense, Abe. Just be lucky and use Chris Chen's frozen jizz. Thanks a lot, asshole. I feel sick now. Topeka Rail Yard was real busy one cool morning. Every single stretch of track was full, and not a single side was empty. Looks like Steve and James are having a chat. Let's see what's happening. Say, Steve, I got a question for you. Alright, let's hear it. So you work for Santa Fe, right? Yeah. Then why do you have a Sunroy paint scheme? Well, you see, the manager bought me from the Southern Rail. Ahem! Would you stop screwing around and get those hoppers attached to my train? Time is money, you know. Fine, I'll get them. Asshole. Now, I must be off. Goodbye, little Confederate. Steve, what's wrong? You usually don't act this way. I'm fucking tired of selling tankers and boxcars. I'm sick of arranging trains for the other engines, only for them to never give me a single thank you. I want to see the life outside the yard. I want to feel the wind on my grill, the sound of the open desert, and the towns and say it's beyond Roosevelt. Just then, Boris arrived with a freight train.
What's going on with Steve?
He's in a bad mood because he's tired of shunting. He wants to travel.
Wow. I never saw anyone this pissed off since the time I asked Walter, the yard manager, for some help with the summer work. Walter, we need your help!
Go away!
Walter, the yard's in chaos!
Fuck off, I'm watching Seinfeld!
You gotta come, this is serious! And I was charged with arson after that.
What the fuck?
Don't worry, Boulder's okay. He's just got a few burns.
I digress. I already have an idea for Steve. I'll tell him tonight.
Okay, if you say so.
Later that evening, James arrived at the roundhouse. He found Steve fast asleep. Steve, wake up!
What is it, man?
Would you like to be my front header of your train? Yeah, I kind of felt sorry for you being stuck in the same place for a whole life. So I thought you could come up in front of me while I take a mixed freight.
Oh, what are you talking about?
She's gonna help me take my train to Mojave tomorrow. Are you crazy? He's just a switcher. He'll warn us axles before you get there. You might think I'm crazy, but I think I'm doing the right thing. Damn hippies. Well, I'll be damned. God bless you, James. Don't mention it. Good night. And so Steve fell asleep at once. It was 5:03 a.m., and Steve and James were ready to leave. The signal showed green, and once the conductor gave the all clear, they left the rail yard. At first, Steve enjoyed the trip. He got to see the dry desert mountains, and the wind was blowing on his non-existent face. As the trip went on, however, he started to get tired real fast. Hey James, how long is this trip? Well, usually I take this train to Mojave. Once I get there, I have to take another train to either Salt Lake City, Carson City, Roosevelt, or even Clark City. The destination depends on what the schedule says. Oh wow. At Mojave, the two locomotives and couple from the contest and were getting prepared for their second trip. They backed into a siding when Steve started to actually worry. I hope my wheels can handle a second journey. I'm already tired of the first. Well, that was all, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Moments later, a Union Pacific SD-40 rolled up. James got suspicious. Oh, it's you. Well, we meet again, eh, Tin Can? Looks like your valve didn't burst this time. That was one time and you know it. And you're calling Tin Can, you old boxcar. Your name calling is as effective as an episode of Full House. My name call is more effective than your little Union Pacific. I'll have you know that the Union Pacific is the greatest railroad of all times. We managed to successfully unite the western frontier. Your little Santa Fe railroad only built its empire after the fact. You know what? The argument is over. Do you even have a train to take, or are you just gonna sit around with your thumb up your asshole? Pussy. Douchebag. Who the hell was that? That was Jacob. He's been a real asshole ever since the valve burst of 83. Since then he's been telling me, and showing his pride of our competition to every engine that's not for his railroad. Me especially. Okay, James. They're ready with the next train. Time to go. That can't be a good sign. The two engines were taking a coal train in Roosevelt. Unfortunately, Steve was already getting tired and wanted to get the job done with. Then, it happened. James heard a loud snapping sound and his engineer smelled something burning. He didn't know where it came from at first, but then it hit him. James, your brake's on fire! Jesus Christ! I can only feel the burning! Leave it to me. I'll stop the train.
Are you insane? What are your little brakes gonna do against a hopper train like this?
I gotta believe!
No. I knew that would happen.
God damn, it hurts!
Well, we're fucked.
Meanwhile, Brigham, Jonathan and our diesel were about to leave with their own train. A local switcher was finishing up with the final cars. There you go, Jonathan. You're ready to depart. About time. What took you so long? I was distracted by a nice-looking car. Don't judge! You actually think I'm not going to judge you for something as stupid as that? I mean, you got distracted by a car. A car, of all things! Wow, you're worse than my old shipmate. Charter? What? Look what you've done to the rail yard! It's ruined! These freight cars are near that warehouse. Those gunners are blocking the fuel station and they completely cut off the main track.
I never crossed the track, baby.
Jesus, on my rail, we saw trains like this all the time. Well, that's not how we do it here. I really need to shut me up, please.
See, John, I'm starting to hear something.
Do you see anything? Looks like Steve is pulling a freight train and James is behind him for some reason. It's a freight train pulled by James and Steve.
It looks like they're going pretty fast, too. They're probably on a runway. Dispatch, we got a runway on track 2. Send it to the nearest site. Over. Copy on that.
The runway was switched towards the branch line rail yard and was heading towards the engine shops. Alright, say it with me in 3, 2, 1.
Luckily, no one was hurt.
Except for Jim, Steve, and probably all those workers in the shed. But hey, at least no one important was hurt, and that's all that really matters. Later that night, the workers came to clear up the crash. Andrew and another engine came with one of the breakdown cranes, along with the manager. I do my work, I eat my veggies, I go outside and touch grass, if there's any grass in this office it doesn't begin with, and what do I get? A couple of Three Stooges wannabes racing through stations and damaging my fucking property! Actually, sir, this shit is Santa Fe property. Did I ask you for property rights? Yeah, that's what I thought. Seriously, Steve, what did you think was gonna happen when you were pulling a long-ass train like this? I thought you knew better! I'm sorry, sir. I just thought it would be a nice change. A nice change? A nice change?! Steve, you're a switcher, not a mainline diesel. You're not built for jobs like this. And I was gonna give you an overhaul as a reward for all the hard work you did. But because of your accent, you don't deserve it now. Sir, it's my fault. Don't interrupt your What? It was my idea for Steve to help me with the train, sir. Now why, in the name of suffering succotash, would you think this was a good idea? Because he was tired of doing the exact same job day in and day out. He just wanted to see the outside world and rarely saw it. I was doing him a favor. James, I understand his frustrations. But are you mentally ill? His job doesn't require him to haul heavy loads like long-distance freight trains. His type was designed to organize trains and make the yard less cluttered. You don't see Boris George or yourself shunting freight cars or counterpulling freight trains, do you? No, sir. Steve, after you come back from the shops, you're going straight back to shun duties. As for you, James, you'll stay in the roundhouse until I can trust you again. The two engines remained silent after that. At the Topeka roundhouse, the manager had an announcement for the engines.
Alright, settle down Hey! Shut up! Are we done yet? Good. I called you here to introduce some new engines. They should be coming any second now. And there they are. These two are Mikey and Todd.
Soft names create soft people!
Did I ask for your input? Exactly. Todd will act as a substitute while Steve is out of work. And Mikey's a 484 mountain type. He'll be joining our roster and will be the third member of our steam team. We just finished him after years of restoration. So make him feel at home.
Excuse me, sir. When will Steve come back exactly?
That depends on how bad his bogies have gone. It could take months or years for all I know.
Jesus Christ, how much of these oily narcissists do you have? Don't say that! They already heard you and now they're offended. Hell, I'm offended.
Yeah, don't worry. I knew him from his heyday. To be honest, I thought he changed after decades of isolation. What's wrong with him exactly? It's a long story, sir.